too. I was intimidated by your beauty.
I've never really liked what I look like. You know, as a child, I was really wild. I had my hair everywhere and I'd run around, and my mother was always really disgusted with me because she's very beautiful, very statuesque, and my sister was exactly the same. I was the frumpy fat kid. I hated myself. This idea of what a woman should be, and that's graceful, that's, beautiful, that's doesn't really talk much. From the very get-go, I knew that I was not going to be like that.
My name is Idrissa Rao. Yeah, but here when you come here, I'm known on a Nestor's name because I pick it up in soccer.
I assume that you like soccer because of the jerseys that you wear.
I'm really into soccer. I'm like a soccer maniac.
I guessed that you were from Senegal.
I grew up in West Africa, Niger.
I thought that your family must be of decent economic standing in your country because you were able to come to US.
Because my dad had a government job. He was in the army.
I thought that you were born in India because of your skin color.
I was born in Canada, and then at the age of 4, I moved to Bangladesh.
I guessed that your dad had been a politician because I know that you moved around a lot as a child.
My dad lives in Dubai, and he's a professor there, and my mum is, she lives in Sydney with me.
I thought that you might be born into a traditional, uptight family. Because you're such a free spirit, I assume that there must be something that you were rebelling against.
I have a very interesting relationship with my mother in the sense that she's very overprotective. She suffers from schizophrenia and bipolar, middle child syndrome, and borderline personality disorder, which all exist. She's tried to kill us. When I was younger, there'd be situations where I would wake up through the night and I'd be scared.
I guess that you came to America to attain some sort of abstract idea of the American dream.
Where I came from, it's this whole tradition. They don't use machines. My generation got got sick of it, and in some way, because this is the time when hip hop was coming out. Also, Hollywood was a lot of way of reaching us there. I saw a lot of things because we have a cable, and TV, TV is big. TV can rearrange, redirect your life. I got in a school in Kansas City that accepted my application. I was super excited. Can you believe in America? To me, it was a fantasy. It's just Hollywood made it look really like a paradise.
I saw you as idealistic and naive.
When I got into law, I didn't know who I was anymore because I was trying to be too many things at once. I felt like I was a walking contradiction. I got a boyfriend. He was pursuing me for 8 months. And so I thought that he must be in love with me. I wasn't ever a slut, or I really took relationships seriously, and I slept with him, so that was a really big deal for me, and I was like, I have to make this work now. I fell pregnant. I had to do everything by myself. He broke up with me 3 days after he found out that I was pregnant. I mean, I've never thought that abortion is wrong, but I never thought that I would ever be in a situation where I'm 19 and I'm pregnant. I was never that girl. And it was the hedonist period in my life because I was doing all these things that I never thought I'd do, and I was just doing them because I was like, yeah, I'm being experimental. It's, I'm young. And now I'm grateful because it really pulled me out of the situation that I was in and made me really question who I wanted to be in my life.
I had a feeling that you came here for your college education, but I never imagined that it hadn't worked out for you.
My dad got arrested, so I stopped getting money. He was the one providing me with money. So the school was patient with me for 2 semesters, and then that's it. I sold my car. I had a car. I came to the bus place. To me, it's a failure of my life. Nothing kills me every day. I would love to go back in the school.
I didn't know that you had any turmoil with your mom.
If you met my mum, you would think she's the most charming woman alive. And then it's this other dimension, and her parents have denied it our whole life. They blame everything that she does on us. Dad took her to see a psychiatrist when I was probably 3, and the psychiatrist was like, have you ever thought that it could be you. And she walked out. She turned to my dad and said, "You paid that psychiatrist to say that." I just don't know how he does it. My heart goes out to him. He's sacrificed so much to stay with her. He feels as though he should look after her, like he signed a contract. I don't think he really has a concept of happiness.
On January 18th, I bet that I saw you and you smiled at me. You gave me my medium coffee with milk and 3 Splendas, and I had no idea that you had just found out that your mother had died.
My mom barely made it. She passed at 47, age 47, yeah. She got sick, but she got better, you know. And then one night, just last January, I went to bed and she never woke up. I was in the train, I was riding to come here early, like at 6 a.m. And I received a text saying, in French of course, that we are deeply sorry to inform you, therefore our mother, beloved mother. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was like a dream.
Surreal.
It was a surreal. I'm like, maybe I'm writing a wrong number or something.
Yeah.
Or something. My wish was to be wrong or something.
You seem so happy and secure.
I feel really guilty. Like, even the other day I was having a conversation with my sister where she just went apeshit, and she's like, "Who do you think you are that you can just leave her?" I was like, "I know that you think I'm selfish because I've left, but I had to do it." You know that whole concept that you hear about in Islam, and it's called jihad. It actually means an inner struggle. So I've always looked at my mother as being a jihad, my internal struggle, and something that I have to better myself for.
Based on your love of soccer, I would have guessed that you dreamt of being a professional soccer player.
I just want to be like a businessman that will be able to travel around the world, that will take a lot of good stuff, like computers and food-wise, and just take it back and forth, import export.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the state to my country.
I thought that you were single.
I needed something heavy to lift up to the apartment. A friend of mine was like, "There's this guy, he's really hot. You should meet him." And I was like, I didn't really think anything of it. I came to my apartment to, like, drop off the heavy thing. And I was like, "Do you want some tea? Do you want some ice cream?" He sits down and we start talking, and there's other people there, and my friend was like, it was like nobody else was in the room. It was just you two talking.
I knew that you were passionate about social justice, but I didn't realize how deeply knowledgeable you are about politics.
And I come home and it's like John doesn't know anything about anything to do with fashion or style or, any of this world, and we just talk about politics all day. It's just a really good balance. I am really passionate about Israel and Palestine. I want rights for Palestinians, because Palestinians aren't just Muslims. Like, all the Palestinians I know are Roman Catholic. It's not about religion. It's never been a religious war.
I thought you were in a long-term relationship.
It's someone we kind of like grew up together in school, and when I came here, but the fact that we were departed from one another, really affected me big time. I knew love through that lady, and I learned so much from her, and somehow she didn't get a chance to come here. We kept in touch, but it hurt me so much that there's no guarantee, we're gonna make it.
I had a feeling that you were spiritual, but I had no idea that you were so passionate about one religion.
We're Muslim, and my parents weren't really restrictive. I was very grateful. I was very lucky. I am, adherent to it, and I think it's a beautiful faith, and I believe in it, but it's not where it's like overtakes me. I have an older sister who's a psychologist, and when I was 13, she started wearing the hijab. We lived in a post-September 11th world. People treat you differently, and people disrespect you. I mean, my dream is to really change the ideas of what Muslims are. I'm not stereotypical, but in my deepest heart, that's it. I am that. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Even the hijab, now it's abused, but when it came about, it was about women being equal to men. So men wouldn't treat you differently on how you looked. They would treat you for your intellect.
I thought you practiced Christianity.
Basically, the belief I was raised into was Islam. Yeah. every fact I read book, basing my sense of judgment. Nothing really interfere with its teaching.
I thought your biggest focus right now was to work for Style Like You.
I'm writing a memoir about my mother. It's the biggest gift that I've given myself. The book is really about coming to peace with the fact that I was given this mother for a reason. There are a lot of flaws in my personality, but I am very kind-hearted and generous because of her, because I've had to be. Well, the thing I really lack is gratitude. The gifts that I've been given have just been hidden, in disguise,